Okay, I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is a special call meeting of the Jackson County Board of Commissioners today, June 14th, 2022. Today is Flag Day, so we hope that we'll honor the flag. When you see the flag, we have a beautiful flag that hangs here in our boardroom that was donated to us from Congressman Heath Shuler. He served in the United States Congress representing the 11th Congressional District, and that flag was flown over the top of the United States Capitol building in honor of Jackson County and was presented to us, and we're so proud to have that displayed on our wall. And so we'll take time to reflect and honor the flag this day. As we look at our agenda, we do have several items on the agenda to review. Three items to be precise, but the very three important items as we look today to adopt our budget for this upcoming fiscal year 2022-2023. So I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any question or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. First item of business under new business is the summary of the final changes. There have been a few final changes made to the budget. I'm going to recognize Mr. Don Adams, our county manager, to review those changes with us.
Yes, sir. This is really just a summary of what was previously discussed by the board. Just quickly trying to move forward. What we're doing is taking $159,000 out of what was originally budgeted in contingency and going ahead and moving it, making it available for expenditures. This is for that scanner system for the jail that was discussed, so that the sheriff can just move forward with that purchase immediately instead of waiting to the audit. We're also going to be removing temporarily the Athletic Hall of Fame amount, and also the amounts all going to mountain projects. All those amounts are going to be removed out of that specific line item if you adopt this budget and moved into contingency. Okay, and then as you can see in the agenda, there will be a requested budget amendment to this adopted budget at the end of this meeting that will correct the situation, but we'll get into the details of why we're doing that as we go through the budget itself. The other item was that, if you recall, we had a late application to $10,000 for the farmers market. We also added the $100,000 to the public schools capital outlay. That's for them to hire the architectural services as discussed, so that they can get more accurate numbers for the facility needs. And then that causes a reduction of transfer to school cap reserve by that $100,000. And then these are the moving around of the contingency numbers as discussed earlier when we were moving these costs into contingency and so forth. Then basically, if you go down, we're just changing the school cap reserve numbers to reflect that $100,000 decrease because we increased the expenditures in their budget. And then if you scroll down, this is just the remake of the solid waste revenues and also expenditures based upon the fee schedule change. Mr. Chairman, that's the presentation of the summary of changes.
Any questions about the changes? Like I said, all these changes we've gone over in our most recent work session where we made those decisions. Okay, there's no action required on these changes. So that takes us on to item 2, which is the presentation of the budget ordinance. Mr. Adams?
Yes, sir. You should have in front of you a copy of the proposed budget ordinance. Just a reminder to the board and to the citizens, all the work, all the information is provided to the board in previous meetings. It all culminates into this one document. This is the legal document voted upon by the board to adopt a budget as previously discussed. So as you can see, this first page is a good page to really look at. This first page actually summarizes 90% of what this budget ordinance is, okay? And so you can see what I'll do, if it pleases the board, I'll just spend a little time going through these numbers here, and then what that'll allow me to do on the next pages, we can scroll past those fairly quickly because all that is a detailed description of each of these funds, if that pleases the board. So as you can see, the general fund proposed amount, this is where your property tax dollars, sales tax dollars, so forth is proposed to be $82,292,740. You can see we have a self-insurance fund, that's for our health insurance of $8,009,134. We have budgeted the entire amount of the American Rescue Plan funds of $8,534,441. As we all recall, we have a certain amount of that already committed. We have the Education Cap Reserve Fund of $2,314,821. The Capital Reserve Fund of $1,001,000. School Cap Reserve Fund of $1,762,653. E911 Emergency Telephone Fund of $314,070. Economic Development Fund of $175,966. Revaluation Fund of $498,325. The Law Enforcement Fund of $30,000. Conservation Preservation Recreation Fund of $500,000. Fire Service District Tax Fund of $1,959,910. Debt Service Fund of $5,480,659, and that does include the new pool debt that was previously approved by the board. Clean Water Fund of $23,000, Economic Development Revolving Loan Fund of $2,917, Economic Development Fund of $15,000, the Solid Waste Enterprise Fund of $5,126,047. That includes the increased revenues and also the projected increased expenses. And the Green Energy Park Enterprise Fund of $243,430. Airport Authority Fund of $229,795. So that subtotal budget is the $118,513,907. That is not a true reflection of actual costs. We do have to take out what we call the fund transfers. We transfer monies from the general fund to these funds and vice versa. When you remove that, you do have a total projected budget, general fund and all extra funds of $99,272,639. Okay. So if it pleases the board, Mr. Chairman, what I'm going to do is if you scroll through the next pages, the next page is just ultimately a description of all the general fund expenses, which is the $82,292,740, and that is on page 3 of your actual document to get to that subtotal. And then if you keep scrolling, that will give a detailed section 3 on page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, page 8. Will give a detailed description of all the revenues that make up and I'm going to scroll through here, make up the $82,292,740 in the general fund. Beyond that, Mr. Chairman, what I'm about to scroll through now and board members is all the funds that I just read earlier. So unless you want me to stop at each one, I'm just going to continue to scroll through these. If you got any questions, please let me know. But again, what these funds are all the funds I just described to you, okay? And so if you scroll through to page 9, page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13, page 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, with me. That really is a detail of all the funds that I just read aloud to the board in regards to the proposed budget. So I'm going to scroll online and get to the page 19 that I will spend a little time on. So on page 19, section 40, you can see that this is the section that it proposes a tax rate of 38 cents per $100 valuation. This is based on a total valuation of real, personal, and utility property in an amount of $11,304,305,952 with an estimated collection rate of 98.78%. and motor vehicle total valuation of $463,401,949 with a collection rate of 99.85%. Section 41 is setting the tax rate for the Cashers Fire District at 0.0294 per $100 valuation, with a value of $6,327,466 through $466,320 with an estimated collection rate of 98.78%. Section 43 is basically setting 43 and 44 are setting your solid waste fees. Section 43 is your availability fee, and then section 44 is your per ton cost. Section 45, what it does is it goes over and authorizes the county manager and finance director to have certain authorities during the year in order for us to do transfers and to operate the county budget. Section 46 is also authorizes the finance officer to basically manage cash is what that section does. Section 47 also provides additional authorizations for purchasing and utilization of certain contingency items. Section 48, it does put some requirements on the Board of Education that if they do any changes to their budget by more than 10%, that they need to bring that back to the commissioners. Section 49 also puts some requirements in Southwestern Community College. Section 50, discusses ABC distributions, and 51 talks about the copies of this ordinance, once adopted, would be furnished to the finance director and budget officer of Jackson County to be kept on file to be open to the public. Mr. Chairman, that's my the brief as I could summary of the proposed
Any
budget.
questions about the proposed budget? Any questions? This has been a long process. I don't think most people really understand how long a budgetary process is. We actually start this back in January.
Yeah.
And it takes almost 6 months to get to the point where we come to this document to be ready to vote. A lot of work, and I want to say how much I appreciate the work that Don and Darlene and our department heads and staff have put into this to get us to where we're at today. They do a lot of hard work, and it's reflected here, and it's very much appreciated from the board's perspective.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions about the budget? So at this time, we're ready to move forward and to officially adopt the budget. It'll be effective July 1st. Would someone like to make a motion to adopt the budget?
I make a motion that we adopt the budget,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
All right, we have a motion to adopt this budget ordinance for fiscal year 2022-2023. Is there a second?
Second.
Any question or discussion?
Yes, sir.
All right. Commissioner Dees, go ahead.
Can you hear me, Mr. Chairman?
I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
I would just like, I hope everybody realizes how much goes into this. How massive it is as far as numbers and the amount of different things we try to fund. And I've been amazed myself since I've been a commissioner that we take the amount of money we have and do all the things that we do and still not have to pay any more taxes than we pay. And it's just amazing, and I think it's a tribute to Darlene and our manager and even people in the past that we're able to do these things and still not bankrupt our citizens. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Dees. Any other comments or questions?
The last time I looked up the millage rates of all 100 counties in the state, we were tied with Swain County at second. This minor increase takes us to third lowest tax millage rate per $100 in the state of North Carolina. and for what we can provide the citizens of Jackson County with that rate, from increased safety services from first responders to the firemen, having the Cullowhee Fire Department and now the Civil Fire Department and the Casters Glenville Fire Department fully staffed 24/7 is truly remarkable, and it takes all the way down. I remember seeing, I want to give a attaboy to the maintenance and grounds folks that do such a good job around the county, because on that, with the county commissioners on that graph that had the county commissioners and the kind of the outline with the citizens.
Org chart, yeah.
With the chart.
Yeah, the org chart.
Yeah, the org chart,
organization.
yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. They had some of those key folks there at the bottom, but that doesn't mean they're at the bottom. My grade is they're at the top right there along with the citizens. But that's all I got to say. Thank you for your work you've all done.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions?
Well, I would like to say that I'm so pleased that we're able to pass this budget and, as the others have said, keep our tax rate low in these times where we don't know what's ahead, but we have a healthy fund balance. And I think this budget is going to allow us to face that future with confidence that we can meet the needs of our people. And I want to say especially that I know we work really hard to support our nonprofits. And this budget reflects that. A lot of times they're offering frontline services to our citizens, and we appreciate that.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none then, Madam Clerk, if you'd call the roll, please.
Commissioner Stribling,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Woody,
Yes.
Commissioner Deeds, Chairman McMahon.
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, thank y'all. Next is item 3. As it was alluded to, we had to make some changes to the budget, and so we already have budget amendments. And that's called the budgetary process, and it will happen from today all the way till this time next year.
That's correct.
There'll be one right after the other budget amendments, because budgets are living documents that change and get amended from day to day. So, Ms. Fox, we've got 2. I'll let you highlight those.
Okay, we've got two. The first one is an increase for the Jackson County Hall of Fame, $1,500, and a decrease to contingency for $1,500.
Okay. And it's our understanding that based upon a recent state law that was passed that calls for commissioners who serve on boards of directors of nonprofits, that they have to be recused from voting on allocations that go to those nonprofits in which they serve on the board of directors. And in this case, Commissioner Dietz serves on the board of directors for the nonprofit of the Jackson County Hall of Fame. And so at this time, we will need to take action on this amendment and vote to first recuse Commissioner Dietz. So do I have a motion that we recuse Commissioner Dietz from this vote? Can he make? No, he can't. You can't make it. We have to.
I make that motion.
Commissioner Dietz or Commissioner Woody has made that motion. Is there a second? All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. So at this time, 4 commissioners minus Commissioner Dietz will be voting on a budget ordinance amendment that's been put for us to transfer $1,500 to the Jackson County Hall of Fame. Is there a motion to do so?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any questions or discussion? Madam Clerk?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Stribling,
Yes.
Chairman McMahon.
Yes. Motion carries. Okay. The next one, Ms. Fox?
Okay, the next one is for Mountain Projects, and it's an increase in the amount of $19,637 for their specific projects, and a decrease in contingency of $19,637.
Likewise, with the Athletic Hall of Fame, this is a private nonprofit in which Commissioner Gail Woody serves on their board of directors. And so we will need to vote to recuse her from this vote. And so would someone put forth that in the form of a motion?
So moved,
All
Mr.
right, we
Chairman.
have a motion to recuse Commissioner Woody from this vote. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we have before us this project ordinance amendment, or budget ordinance amendment, excuse me, for the transferring of $19,637 from contingency to the mountain projects line item. Would someone like to put forth the motion to transfer and approve this budget ordinance amendment? Well, I will do that. All right, Commissioner Dietz has made a motion to do so. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Stribling,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Deeds, Chairman McMahon.
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
You, Darlene.
Any other business?
I have two dates coming up that I would like to remind all the commissioners of. One is tomorrow at 2:30, the dedication of the new addition to I'm sorry, excuse me, the dedication of the new wing of the United Christian Ministries. And as most people are aware, that's our food pantry for Jackson County. It's a cooperative effort of many different individuals, organizations, and churches in Jackson County. And the dedication will be at 2:30, and they would like all of the commissioners that can to attend, if possible. And then the second one is, I think you all got emails, but just a reminder, on June 23rd, the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners will be holding District 16 and 17 regional meeting. And that's going to be at Southwestern Community College from 5:30 to 7. There will be a meal involved, and Angie's done a great job in organizing this along with the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners. So we hope that all the commissioners can attend.
And then just see Angie and she can get you registered for
Yes.
the event.
Thank you.
Did Commissioner Deets hear that there's going to be food provided?
Any other items of business?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to
Mr.
share,
Adams?
because Commissioner Woody, I know you had sent an email about June 21st, the 1 PM meeting. Everything's still set for the 1 PM meeting for June 21st.
Yes, the next time this board will meet will be on June 21st at 1 PM. We'll sort of wrap up the 2021-2022 budget year.
Okay. Very good.
Anything else? All right, with that being said, do we have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All right, boys, hope you get